Welcome back to another deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something pretty different, actually, a unique source.
Yeah, we've got the transcript from a live comedy special.
Exactly. It's Max Amini's randomly selected from 2025.
And you might think, comedy. But stand-up often acts like this amazing mirror to, well, us. Shared experiences, universal truths, all wrapped up in jokes.
Right. So that's our mission today. We're going to sift through it, see what insights, what observations, maybe even some wisdom we can pull from these stories he tells.
And comedy does that through these very specific, sometimes, wildly exaggerated anecdotes. We'll unpack some of the big ones.
And this one's really for you, the listener who sent this source material in. Thanks for that. It's fascinating stuff. So let's dig in.
Okay, so right off the bat, what hits you is how he connects with the audience, like instantly.
Yeah, it's the very first thing. Building that rapport, making it a shared room.
He just dives in, calling people out. Toronto folks, Persians, non-Persians.
Arabs, yeah, and he has that funny bit about Sri Lankans specifically.
And Europeans, too, mentioning someone from the Netherlands. It's like this rapid-fire roll call.
And it's not just groups, right? He gets into these one-on-one interactions, like the guy with the pink tie from Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, yeah, that one's great. The guy actually wanted to be called out for the tie. For advertising.
Which is hilarious. And the comedian jumps on it, calls him so Persian, throws in that little edgy joke about security liking the discomfort.
It just breaks down that wall, takes a stereotype, makes it playful, shared, instantly.
Then there's the genetic scientist. Flew all the way from the Netherlands just for the show.
And the comedian's reaction feels so real. Holy shit, that's pretty fucking respectful, man. You can tell he, genuinely appreciates that.
And he even talks about why he loves that part, says it's the most special part of his show, the best moment. It feels like the connection itself is his passion.
Which kind of leads into this other point he makes, doesn't it? Tucked in the humor.
Yeah, about finding something you love, a passion. He uses the pink tie guy as the counterexample.
Right, the shitty Mercedes-Benz sales shit, they make you wear a pink embarrassing tie.
Exactly. The message is, even if your job isn't it, find that thing that fulfills you. It's a pretty deep message delivered through, well, a pink tie.
Speaking of things that aren't fulfilling, travel. Let's switch to that. He calls it brutal, difficult. Airports, specifically.
Oh, yeah, the universal pain point. And he nails it with that gate change story. Gate 18 to gate 218.
He makes it sound like a 5 days walk. Just pure exaggeration capturing that feeling.
And the running, that description is perfect. When you know your gate is 20 minutes away, but you got 5 minutes.
The most unathletic people running like no one's business. You picture it immediately.
Even the 90-year-old with a walker taking it behind his back. It's so over the top, but captures that desperate life or death feeling of airport running.
And then, of course, fans pop up even then. Like the guy running with him, asking for a picture.
I love you too, man, and we're running. It's okay, I am late too. It's just this collision of panic and, well, fandom. It's absurd.
But the bathroom story.
Yeah.
That's where it gets really awkward.
Yeah, that one shifts the tone. A fan comes up while he's, at a stall, says, I love you, asks for a picture.
While holding his And the comedian's like, as a straight man, you should never be holding your dick telling another man I love you. Drawing a very clear line.
Definitely. It's inappropriate. It's not right. But the fan doubles down, asks how to make that funny.
And his response, the piss on you thing, it's obviously shocking and offensive, but it's like this comedic deflection. A way to say, are you serious right now? It really shows how weird fan behavior can get. Zero boundaries sometimes.
So from almost missing the flight, he moves to actually missing it. And that trap of begging the counteragents.
He paints them as these villains, right? Meanest, most evil, twisted, sick, psycho zombies.
Totally, who are so excited to tell them the door is closed.
It's tapping into that feeling we've all had, powerless against the system.
But his revenge strategy is genius. Pure comedic defiance. Yeah, the whole not making eye contact, smiling big at the closed door, forcing the agent to yell, the door is closed.
And his calm reply, who gives a shit? It's beautiful.
And then he layers on that cultural explanation. Because I am Iranian.
We believe when we miss a flight, it wasn't meant to be. God has a plan for this plane.
Which leads to this fantastic, exaggerated consequence. The agent messages the pilot shoots himself, flight's canceled.
And he ends up taking the next flight and arriving earlier anyway. It's turning total frustration into this, cosmically justified win, finding humor and even power in having zero control.
And apparently that whole story was inspired by watching an actual Iranian couple miss their flight. He says he watched like a little creep, saw comedy gold.
Right, and this leads into some really specific cultural observations, especially that sound.
Oh, the ooh, 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 ooh. He explains it just means something bad happened instantly, like horrible.
And the analogy he uses to teach it.
Yeah.
Wow. Think and picture an owl being fingered.
It's memorable. Definitely crude, maybe shocking, but you won't forget it. Shows how comedy uses really specific, sometimes grotesque images.
Then the husband says, "Hurry, please do something," which sets up this whole bit about gender rules.
Yeah, the observation that Iranian men, they know they cannot do shit, and if anybody can do anything, it's the women. It's a stereotype, played for laughs, about who takes charge in a crisis.
So Hurry steps up,
Yeah.
tries Persian negotiations. First, polite but firm. "We have arrived. Open the door."
Fails. Then open the door a little bit, we go inside. Like sneaking in is an option. He contrasts it with how white ladies might react, suggesting different cultural styles.
And when that doesn't work, switch to Persian drama, calling for Billy at LAX.
The excuses just pile up. I have surgery. Husband chips in. Say it's your birthday.
Which becomes, "I have surgery on my birthday." It's just this escalating spiral of desperation. You know it's not going to work.
And the final wild attempt. Excuse me, are you married? Offers to pay the agent. Pray for her love life.
Right as the plane is literally taking off, it's just this collision of, like, Cuisinal superstition and bureaucratic reality. Hilarious desperation.
And her reaction when it's truly gone? Perfect. Snaps at the agent, swears. Then turns right on her husband. Fuck you two.
And his line, "You haven't fucked me for 40 years. You never fuck me. Please fuck me." It just throws this long, simmering marital issue right into the middle of the public meltdown. It's funny because it's so inappropriate and revealing.
Okay, so miss the flight. The ordeal isn't over. Next up, stand by.
Ah, yes, the waiting game. And we're back with Hurry and her husband.
Her impatience is key here. She's at that counter constantly, every 10 minutes, then every 5 minutes.
And they set up camp, basically. The standby pit.
With the 50 napkins she stole from McDonald's and all the snacks, pistachios, cashews, seeds, cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplant. It's so specific, so mundane. Captures that reality of just trying to make yourself comfortable while waiting endlessly.
And she keeps interacting with the agent. "Did you call Hurry?" Then offering pistachios. "Do you like pistachios?" Still trying to connect, maybe bribe with nuts.
The tension builds. Only one seat left. And whose name gets called?
The comedians. And Hurry apparently gets electrocuted.
She marches right over, asks his name, even though everyone's heard hers, calls him an honorable Iranian artist.
Buttering him up. And then she plays the status hitch card. "How could you walk in front of me and not offer me your seat?" Using those cultural expectations, you know.
And he just gives in, hands over the boarding pass. Go ahead, Hurry, you can have a seat. It feels like surrender.
She's shocked, grateful, but then the twist.
Right. Oh, but I need 2 seats. Gives the pass back. Turns out she knew there was only one.
She just wanted to talk. Because she's a huge fan. From the 90s. Even though he wasn't doing comedy then. It's another layer of that strange fan interaction thing. It wasn't about the seat at all.
And the final request just brings it all full circle.
Can you come in the bathroom and take a picture with me? I want it to be very funny.
Echoing that earlier awkward fan, his reaction, my God, just says it all. It's relentless.
So, okay, he finally gets his boarding pass back, gets on the plane. Surely it's over now.
Nope. One last challenge. Finding seat 28B.
Which was, as he puts it, missing. It had disappeared.
Why? Because it was between 2 of the biggest humans on planet Earth. The seat was just a crack right there. We've all had a version of that squeeze, right? But this is extreme.
Even the flight attendant knows it's hopeless. Points. It just runs away. Perfect physical comedy bit.
And the 2 guys, they look at each other. We're going to make it happen. It becomes this, like, team effort.
Then the play-by-play of getting him in, it's pure physical comedy gold.
Yeah.
One guy pulling his pants, the other becoming a pancake to the window.
Key instructions. Push, push, become aerodynamic, bend over. Don't worry, I'm a professional. It's treated like this major operation.
And the whole plane joining in, which it was like giving birth, but the other way around.
Yeah.
Turning his personal struggle into this public spectacle.
He gets stuck, turns red, and then the miracle solution.
Vaseline. One of the guys just happens to have it. And the callback.
I work for Mercedes-Benz downtown. It connects back beautifully.
So, final push with the Vaseline. Boom, I fell inside.
And his description of being in the seat, it's so over the top.
The never felt this comfortable.
Yeah.
Best hole I've ever experienced. Gushy mushy.
Every crevice of my body was filled. Like a baby. between two Tempic pillows. It's taking this incredibly uncomfortable situation and finding this weird ultimate comfort in it.
Yeah, the absurdity is finding peace in being completely wedged in, which leads to him falling asleep instantly for hours.
And the flight attendant seeing him later, freaking out at just a hole in an eyeball just sticking out.
His response, when offered a drink, is the perfect punchline to the whole physical ordeal. No thank you, I've already been breastfed.
Darkly funny. And the final bit about being the only survivor if the plane crashed. It just follows the logic of being totally encased. This whole sequence just perfectly uses hyperbole to turn airline misery into something hilarious and bizarrely cozy.
Okay, shifting completely now. From travel hell to facing fear. Skydiving.
And he clarifies he didn't choose this. The fear faced me.
Sets it up with that radio interview in Dubai. The interviewer loves skydiving and describes the adrenaline.
Yeah, including that very vivid detail. Adrenaline hits, my body comes out of my ears and my nipples get hard. It makes the abstract feeling incredibly specific and weirdly memorable.
Then bam, the station manager books him a jump.
Yeah.
Right there. For someone scared of heights, it's like fate intervenes. Done deal.
His internal monologue kicks in immediately. What if this parachute doesn't open?
And the fear creates this incredibly surreal graphic vision, exploding, seeing his dick
flying in the air, yeah. And then an eagle grabs it, feeds it to baby eagles, calling it most delicious meat.
It's just this wild, grotesque manifestation of pure terror. Fear taking physical, bizarre form in his mind.
Then he meets the instructor, the Arab guy. Sits between his legs, pulls the straps. It's tight. It's very good.
And Max sees him as a pervert with googly eyes, which is probably, his own anxiety projecting onto the situation, feeling vulnerable.
Definitely. The Habibi sit on my lap instruction, he refuses. Hell no. But gets lifted on anyway.
All the physical details being hooked together, the mustache tickling his neck, not breathing, worrying about an Arabic surprise, just amplify that feeling of powerlessness and invasion of space.
Then they're at the door of the plane. Peak fear. He sees the whole galaxy, Mars, Pluto, Earth, they were all like fucking twirling around each other.
Great description of vertigo, yeah. And his mind just says, NO. If 1% this parachute doesn't open, I'm gonna die. Are you crazy, Max? Rational thought against the irrational situation.
But the instructor's yelling, jump! He's refusing, sir, no means no. It's this argument at the edge of the void.
Until he just falls out, holding his asshole, a final, primal, undignified reaction.
And even falling, there are instructions. Open your legs. You have to come down like this.
And he refuses again. Hell no. I will die a virgin asshole. Linking the posture to this, sexual vulnerability again, sticking to his boundaries even in free fall.
They come down so fast, hits the ground hard.
And then that parallel vision. Symmetrical absurdity.
The instructor hits the ground. His Arabic dick flies in the air. Two eagles grab it.
But it was too heavy. So they take it to a mountain, feed their babies. It's like his mind processing the trauma by inflicting the same grotesque fate on the instructor figure.
And the final exchange sums it all up. Sir, how was your experience?
His answer. What part, the jump or the penetration? It's dark, pushes boundaries, but it perfectly connects the physical fear and discomfort with his perception of the whole thing being invasive.
Wow. Okay, moving away from the near-death experiences. Back to people. He touches on a few other audience bets.
Yeah, like Hussein and Hadia, the stylish couple, joking about her most ridiculous glasses.
And comparing her evil laugh to the airline counter ladies, linking audience members back to his earlier points of frustration. Clever.
This kind of flows into this idea that every family at least has one crazy person in it, which feels pretty relatable.
And he uses his uncle as the prime example, a nerve-wracking stress freak.
Whose specific anxiety is airport security, always getting randomly selected.
His logic is so wonderfully flawed. If it's every time I'm not terrorist. Applying reason to something he perceives as targeting him.
And the body hair theory. Thinking the metal detector picks it up, so he's shaving since 7-0 last night and declaring, I am a get person, trying desperately to control the uncontrollable.
The description of them at the airport, the uncle shaking, making Max shake, both looking suspiciously, it shows how anxiety is contagious.
And the uncle's interaction with the officer, repeating everything, getting mad, speaking gibberish, making himself look more guilty.
Leading to Max's instant denial. I have no idea who he is, just ditching him.
Until the uncle hits back with the ultimate family guilt trip, I change your diaper. Public humiliation leveraging history. Classic.
But the takeaway Max gets from this is really interesting. It's not just about his uncle.
Right. It's never let anybody make you feel that uncomfortable. Flip it. You're uncomfortable. It's about regaining control in stressful moments.
Which explains his own revenge tactic at security. Instead of being anxious, he performs.
Volunteers enthusiastically, a volunteer like Cece, asks for a public screening, tells the officer to spread your legs.
Plants the whole thing into theater. And in the morning during the search, oh, yes, officer, a little higher you can find my genetics.
Right.
Referencing the scientist again. It's absurd performance art to cope.
And his final point connects back to this idea of being proactive. You got to entertain yourself in life.
Yeah. Get out of the house, do shit, especially do the shit you're scared of. Otherwise, you get depressed. It's about engaging, finding the humor, maybe even the material in life's challenges.
Wow. What a ride through that transcript. From, the very start, needing that audience connection, fighting passion.
All the way through the absolute chaos of travel, the missing flights, standby picnic, getting squeezed into a seat.
And then facing those really deep fears, like literally falling out of a plane, or even just dealing with family anxieties at the airport.
It really shows how comedy, using these super specific, often way over-the-top stories, can actually shed light on really common human stuff, right?
Totally. Frustration, anxiety, who we are culturally, family weirdness, fear, and how we try to deal with it all. Sometimes successfully, sometimes less so.
He uses that exaggeration, the relatable situations, even making himself vulnerable, not just for laughs, but to connect with everyone on that shared feeling.
Yeah, turning bad experiences, or at least uncomfortable ones, into something everyone can laugh about together, finding insight in the absurdity.
And thinking about you, the listener, these stories, even though they're pushed to extremes for comedy, they touch on real things, don't they?
Absolutely. Stressful travel, awkward moments with strangers or fans, family members who drive you nuts, facing things that scare you. We've all been there in some form.
So does seeing it all reflected back like this through the funhouse mirror of comedy change how we feel about those things in our own lives?
Does it make them seem less awful? Or maybe just funnier, more manageable?
Which brings us to maybe a final thought. If we can find humor in things like missed flights, bizarre fan encounters, genuine fear, or being physically squished on a plane.
What does that say about us? About our ability to handle all the random, unexpected, sometimes just plain weird stuff life throws at us?
Could it be that actively looking for the humor, or even like he does, creating it ourselves when things get tough or absurd, could that actually change how we experience those randomly selected moments? Maybe something to think about.